So you played the games, you watched the anime, you collected the cards, but now has Pokemon run dry for you and you want a new adventure? Well, I'll cut to the chase because I know you've read the title, so here's the perfect thing for you. There's two different ways you can play Pokemon D&D, and it's up to you and your party to find the best one that suits you. If you want an adventure that's similar to the original games, you and your party can become Pokemon trainers. Just like the original games in the anime, your party sets out on an adventure with their starting Pokemon. As a GM, you can use existing regions as inspiration, or you can create your very own regions for your players to explore. So now that you've picked your region, it's time to find a Pokemon professor for that area. A Pokemon professor will be an important NPC character for your players to help them along their journey. It is also important to fill your world with Pokemon trainers, gym leaders, and even a villainous team and whatever other plot points you want for your players. But not everybody in your player party has to be Pokemon trainers in this adventure. Players can choose to be research assistants, contest contestants. It all depends on what you and your GM want to do and how much you want to homebrew your Pokemon adventure, but there's many different options for your players to choose from and not just Pokemon trainers. GMs, I recommend that you look at resources like Bulbapedia and look at the Pokemon encounter tables. These encounter tables will determine what your players run into in the wild. Encounter tables are similar to loot tables in a regular D&D game. Depending on what your trainer would roll for their investigation, that's what Pokemon they'll encounter. So if they roll a lower number, they'll encounter a common Pokemon, but if they roll a higher number, they'll encounter a rare Pokemon. In addition to these Pokemon loot tables, you would also want to use regular loot tables so your players can find hidden items throughout the world. These hidden items can consist of better Pokeballs, berries, held items, evolutionary items, or whatever kind of trinket you want your players to find. Pokemon battles are going to be a lot different than the usual turn-based gameplay. Combat is very similar to D&D, but if you've not played that, then I'll give you a basic tutorial. Players will start the battle by rolling for initiative to see who goes first. Once it's your turn, you can make a few options. You can move, use an action, and you can use a bonus action. If you have never GM'd before, I would recommend reading the player's manual before trying to take on a homebrewed game. I also recommend viewing the Pirate Gonzalez game website. He has painstakingly created stat blocks for generations 1 through 3. You can use these stat blocks for your game, or you can adjust them at your own table. The other way to play Pokemon D&D is similar to the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series. Your player party will consist of Pokemon instead of Pokemon trainers. The world that you inhabit in this adventure can consist of Pokemon trainers, or it can consist of only Pokemon. It depends on how you want to play. I recommend creating a guild for your party so that you'll have plot hooks for missions. Missions could consist of bringing medicine for a sick Pokemon, exploring forgotten tombs, or even battling legendary foes. Combat is similar to the other method, but the stats are not. Since you're not going to be using a team of Pokemon, your stats need to be stronger than the ones I mentioned earlier. The easiest way to do this would be to make normal D&D characters. If you want to play a wizard-like class that attacks from a distance, then you can pick a character like Charmander. If you want to be a cleric that heals your party, you can pick somebody like Bulbasaur. Or if you want to be a well-rounded offensively and defensively, then pick Squirtle. Use the natural stats of the Pokemon to help guide what kind of character you want to play as. When you level up, just follow the guidelines in the player's manual for that class. Any spells, cantrips, and attacks can be relabeled as Pokemon moves. So that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you start your very own Pokemon D&D game soon. If you have any other questions, leave a comment down below, and if you liked the vid, you should subscribe. Thanks again. Till next time.